When the president asked Congress to stand for putting America first, half the room stay seated. And y'all know exactly who that was. Now that's going to live on the internet forever. And whether people love Trump or hate him, the optics were powerful. Y'all, I like to shout out my president because he represented us to the fullest. Okay. Very high, energetic speech by far. Let me tell you something. And if you watched him address the nation a year ago, you know what I'm saying? When he came in that thing, he was coming in saying what he was about to, get cracking. In other words. All right. So this one's a little different because he gonna hit different. You want to know why? That man then made so much stuff crack, okay, within a year. It's only right for him to hit different, okay, because he's done everything that he said he's going to do, and he's going to be doing more. But y'all know he got to go through hurdles and underneath rocks and all kind of bricks being thrown at him. We see what's going on, but with that being said, y'all, we finna dive into the first clip because even CBS was saying these folks couldn't even clap to common sense type of things that you should be clapping to and standing up for. With that being said, y'all, we finna dive into the first clip of the day, and then we gonna chop it up in the comment section, coming straight from DZ1776 on X if y'all want to follow her. And then we gonna chop it up in the comment section because I want to know your thoughts. And yes, Queen Bee watched the entire speech, okay, because we ain't finna be twisting stuff up around here. So let's go ahead and dive into this clip.
Democrats are sitting there like if they're disappointed because of the good things that he's mentioning. Like they're disappointed that the gas went down. They're disappointed that the crime has gone down significantly. How evil do you have to be to sit there on your ass with a long ass face, pinche carota, everything that Trump says, everything that the president says that's factual, that you should be standing up and clapping for. These are things that, whether you agree with the guy or not, that are helping the American people, lower gas prices, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He was up there talking for 2 hours. You can't be for that? Like, you can't show the world, the public, the American people, how you guys love to say that. These politicians can't get that phrase out of their mouth. What happened with the American people? You can't cheer them on that we're doing good? Evil. I'm telling you guys, these people are evil. You can see it in their eyes. You can see their face. Like they're disappointed that the country's doing good.
Y'all, okay, coming straight from the brain bucket P ... on TikTok. Now, let me tell y'all something. He's not lying. If you looked at all of them in the crowd, they were so just dragged and drooled and everything. Let me tell y'all something. Body language matters in politics. Now, Republicans stood strong and the Democrats remained seated. But if you watched it and you watched the entire address when he addressed the nation, then you will truly see what these folks stand for and the reason why more and more people are deciding to change how they vote, because it was ridiculous. Okay, we finna dive into some more clips, y'all. Did y'all see Al Green trying to come up through there with this little poster he had? As quick as he tried to put that poster up in protest, they crumbled that thing up and threw it. Crumbled it right up, because F around and find out. You got put out the last one. Don't come in here with this mess. All right. So with that being said, y'all, we finna dive into Nick Sorter on X if y'all want to follow this guy. CBS even admitted that the Democrats showed they tail yesterday, but not showing they tail at all. Let's go ahead and dive into this clip.
We have Major here at the table. I want to bring the conversation back here to our group watching along. Major, you've seen a lot of these, I think, more than any of us. What stood out to you?
Well, look, before the speech, many Republicans said one of the priorities for the president was to make sure Americans after this speech had a sense that the opposition party was off the rails, was crazy, their terminology, not mine. Many of the contrasts the president articulated tonight were to drive that message forward. That not only do I disagree with the opposition party sitting before me in Congress, but I disagree with them so strongly and they with me so much that they can't even applaud basic common sense thing. And that line that you mentioned, that he added to the speech, whether it was ad-libbed or not, the first obligation, American citizens versus illegal aliens, was meant to create a visual moment of perpetual contrast.
We have Major here at the table. I want to bring the conversation back here to our group.
And we are definitely going to dive into that, y'all. I just want to say some stuff and just highlight some moments, because this is a funny moment, because Trump was pretty much talking about 401k. Many people was going without 401k, pension, and all of the above. And he was talking about how they are going to contribute like $1,000 for the 401k matching and all these other good things. And then they were also talking about no more inside trading. And when he said that, a few of the Democrats got up and started clapping to that. And he was like, oh, wow, y'all clapping to that? You get what I'm saying? Like, and then he made a statement like, did Nancy Pelosi stand up? Oh, my goodness. Like, get y'all a president that is real, that has no filter. But we know that when a year ago that their protest was wearing, pink and women's rights and all the above, they had signs and things like that. Well, this go round, I would say the strategy was more so trying to be silence. They had pins that said release fouls. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They was like release the fouls and things like that, but they were more so droopy, dead, and silent. Okay, so we're gonna keep this thing going, y'all, because I'm not gonna keep y'all here all day. Now, the moment that everybody should be upset, if you are a U.S. citizen, regardless of what side you on, when Trump announced this, everyone in that building should have stood up and clapped. Since Trump has took office, 0 illegal immigrants have not came in our border. And that is huge. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this next clip coming straight from Grant Stinchfield on X 1776. If you like to follow this guy, let's go ahead and dive into this clip.
I want you to listen to this moment of the State of the Union.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. First duty of the American government, protect American citizens, illegal aliens.
Common sense. American citizens first. Look at this.
Y'all see who's sitting? Look at that.
Democrats sitting down, putting American citizens last. Thank you, Mr. President, for calling them out.
Yep.
They sit on their asses. They sit on their asses. What a disgrace. That man is an American hero, folks. An American hero. Them, not so much.
So, as y'all can see, they sat on their butts. No lie there. I've watched it with my own eyes, and if you watched it, you've seen it as well. Now, President literally challenged Congress directly to them in their faces. And that's how you do. Get all your haters in one room, show it nationwide so they can show their own tails. They have one job. And that was to stand up for the American citizens, and they did not. So they let you know exactly who they going for. Definitely not me. It ain't you. Let's keep this thing going, y'all. Let's keep it going. Coming straight from my boy Scott Jennings on X. If y'all want to follow this guy, Scott Jennings KY. Let's dive into the clip.
I think the part of the speech that's probably going to live on for most Republicans is when he asked the Congress, stand up if you think your duty is first to American citizens before illegal aliens. Republicans stood up. It gave him his most sustained applause for the night. I suspect, man, you're going to see this in a lot of campaign ads that Democrats wouldn't stand up. What did you all think of the showmanship of that, or of sort of the spectacle of trying to get Democrats to stand up for that?
Well, I think the point, I think that you know, and it may have gotten a little muddled, but you know, in the showmanship, but I think his point is valid. Everybody in that room represents the citizens in this country.
Facts.
And are you doing your job? He should, you know, the governor asked, is Trump doing his job? Trump asked, are all of you doing your job?
But don't I think the
Man, facts, y'all. Because in case y'all don't know, focus groups matters in midterms. You know what I'm saying? Like, swinger voters responded to tone and energy. Regardless of the situation, both parties work for the American people. If they agree or disagree, at some point, they got to come together. Let's keep it moving, because these people didn't show their tails once again. All right, coming straight from Eric Dodger. That's Eric Dodger on X, y'all. JD Vance is going to give you a little insight because he was actually there, okay? And he's going to tell you on hand first what he was saying. Let's go ahead and dive into this clip.
Well, I saw a couple of things, Bill. First of all, obviously, most Democrats didn't stand up or clap. And you know, what a shame that is. What a sad commentary that is on the Democratic Party, that the idea that the American government should stand for American citizens, not illegal aliens, that shouldn't be controversial, but apparently it was to the Democrats. But I will say, Bill, something that I saw that probably most TV viewers didn't see was really the cowardice, because there were a few Democrats who sort of politely clapped. They didn't want to stand up. I guess maybe they were worried about being primaried by the far left fringe of their party. But they were all looking around. They weren't actually saying, you know what, I'm going to stand and support this because this is a common sense, obvious statement. They were all looking around for cues from their colleagues because they didn't have the courage to stand on their own. And that, more than anything, Bill, is the saddest commentary on the Democratic Party, that not only will they not stand for the idea that Americans should come first, they won't even have the courage of their convictions. They lean on the person to their left and their right rather than actually have some conviction. That is unfortunately what's true about Democrats in Washington today.
Well, it is being talked about a lot about how many Democrats chose not to go last night. Senator Fetterman, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, last hour.
Okay, y'all. So no accusations here. I'm just reporting only what we've seen. I'm not the only one talking about it. All right, so let's keep on moving. Let's keep this Trump train moving. All right, now, y'all know Trump got underneath a lot of folks' skin when he started to state the allegedly fraud stuff that's been going on in certain places. And your girl Omar, she couldn't hold it. She was yelling out something. I don't even know what she was trying to yell out, but she lost her composure or whatnot. And of course, you know what I'm saying, your boy Trump stood his ground. He said what he said. Okay. Now, coming straight from Sebastian, that's Ariel 91 on X. If y'all like to follow this guy, let's go ahead and dive into the clip.
Imagine yelling at the President of the United States as he brings up the fact that the people you brought to the United States stole billions of dollars of our taxes.
Ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Truly, at this point, just deport this woman. Truly, just get her out of here. The lack of respect, honestly, the gall, because you should be grateful you're not in handcuffs. You should be grateful. We know you're involved. You mean to tell me your actual, literal cousins stole billions of dollars, and you have the nerve to scream? Not only are you riling people up to protest against the ICE agents that are going into your city to remove the people suspected of this fraud. But then you scream at the president? Why is she here? At what point does the left realize, do you guys not see that these people are inflamed, are insane? Get her out of here. We don't need her here, truly.
Period. Okay. So that was a heated exchange, y'all. President Trump said what he said. She got the yelling, you know what I'm saying, losing her composure and everything. And he just calling it how he is, you know. Hey, it's still ongoing investigating going on, so we're gonna let them folks handle it, and then we'll see in the end what is what. You feel me? Because it's gonna come to light. Now this had to, I don't know about y'all, but there were some emotional moments in there because there were victims who actually lost their loved ones to illegals. But this one right here, and we all know the story about the young woman on the train that got her life taken, and it was shocked, like shocking was the last face that we seen on her, like confused and everything. This was the mother crying, y'all. Oh my God. If y'all didn't shed a tear or feel very emotional around these moments of the parents who lost their loved ones, something is definitely wrong with you, because wow. So we about to get into this clip, y'all. And the fact that these folks did not stand goes to show you who they really are. They are showing you their true color. You've got to be some type of evil and have no heart. Let's get into this clip coming straight from Tony X2 on X. If y'all want to follow this guy, let's dive into it.
Dozen times and was released through no cash bail, stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget there were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretsky, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand?
How do you not stand? Exactly. Some Democrats remained seated. Okay. But that entire building should have been standing on both 2 feet. Just goes to show you, man. Hey, let's keep it going. Say her name. Remember. And to every last person who has lost a loved one to an illegal immigrant that wasn't supposed to be here to begin with, remember their names, y'all. And remember the angel moms, the parents who lost their loved ones. Because you never know when it's you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Westcott America on X. If y'all like to follow this guy, let's hear what he got to say.
This is by far the worst generation of Democrats I've ever seen. I ain't never seen nothing like this. They're not even American. These are a bunch of these are traitors. We've all seen it. We've all seen it by now. State of the Union address. Trump brings up Irina Zaretsky, mother sitting there crying tears, and none of these people could stand up.
He slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget there were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretsky, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand?
Sitting there like statues while the rest of the world honors real heroes and common sense. And then we finally see the truth. Trump challenges them and says, hey, stand if you agree that Americans should be protected over illegal immigrants. And they all just sit there, frozen, like a bunch of vampires just feeding off of all the chaos that they've created. Like, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, what does it mean to you? You pathetic excuses a leader should be drowning in shame, putting political party politics over innocent lives. That ain't incompetence, that's just demonic betrayal of everything this country stands for. And I didn't even get to Elon Omar. She should have been tossed right out, just like that other gorilla that was sitting there holding the sign. Democrats are clearly the architects of the downfall of America. And we can't let that happen. When you show up to the ballot box, make it personal.
Make it personal. Your boy West Scott. That's real facts right there. Seriously. I mean, hey, what more do y'all need? All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. If you made it to almost the end of this video, I want to say thank y'all so much for the love and support. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know each and every time your girl comes on. Now, we're going to go to CNN, Abby Phillips. Now, y'all know it's kind of hard to get anything really about this chick. But even she had to say, hey, the way President walked through there, you know what I'm saying, hit a little different. The energy was a little different. So let's go ahead and dive into TV news now on X. If y'all want to follow this channel, let's get into it.
You know, I thought President Trump actually delivered a higher energy speech than I think even his speech last year. He was much more engaged, and I think part of that was because they had planned the speech to be an interactive experience between him and the audience. There were things for him to announce, surprises. There were big moments, emotional moments, and that helps him tremendously. You know, I thought President Trump...
Okay, Abby, so I see what you're saying. I see what you're trying to say. Let me tell you something. When he addressed the nation a year ago, he was getting the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying? At that time, he was letting us know what he was getting ready to do. Okay, so let's just state that. Now that he has done what he's done within a year... You get what I'm saying? He can move a little different. He can walk, talk a little different. Okay? Because he's actually made these things happen. And the things that are not happening for him, again, is because he's going through little confrontations with people here and there. You know what I'm saying? But this president got more done than any other president in history. Okay? And we still got 3 more years to go. And what I love though is Trump had made a statement like, y'all, he was like 2 terms, maybe a 3rd term, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I don't know, something happened. It's kind of strange. I cracks up because I'm telling you, no filter. I'm like, facts, we know what's going on. Anywho, that brings me, y'all, to the last clip of the day. So President Trump ends, you know, his speech and everything. Thank you, President Trump, for all that you've done. Thank you to all the Republicans for everything that y'all doing for the American citizens, for putting us first, putting our families first. You know what I'm saying? He talked about inflation. He talked about the gas prices. He talked about 401k. He talked about so many great subjects and topics, and it's more to come. And he also called them folks on their ish. And that was to let true Americans see who they really stand for. When you go in the booth, like my boy West Scott said, make it personal, baby, because you deserve it. And I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one. The minute you realize that you have the power and we put these people in place, life will be so much better. All right? They work for us, not the other way around. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Nick Adams. That's Nick Adams in USA. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot.
Let's go.
And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you,
God
Trump.
bless America.
Let's go. That's how you end it.